we're back, guys, with Rogue Actions Part 2 with our boy Cubs fan Han. Mate, always fun to have you down this side, down under. Mate, how's things been? How's your week been? How's your GAC gone lately? Been okay?
I mean, my week is like 3 hours old right now. So those 3 hours have been great. I crushed a leg set at the gym today. I'm feeling good. So yeah, great week.
Fantastic, fantastic. Mate, we're up and running. Guys, if you're brand new to this channel, smash that red button. Super, super important to help us grow this awesome channel. We have 3 more topics. We covered 3 more on Cubs on part 1 as well. Go and check that out. The link is below. Now, I have some concerns, Cubs. I'm a little bit worried with our first topic today.
Okay.
The Bad Batch will be required for Kenobi, Galactic Legend Kenobi. Now, a few hours ago, we had a data mine pop up, and there's been some additional Bad Batch bundles. Now, we know that we've had the weekly shipments. We've had Hunter in the weekly shipments to help fast track him, to get him up and going, to give you the opportunity to get more of his shards. We've now gotten a Bad Batch beginner bundle and also a Bad Batch squad bundle. Now, they're pushing these shards pretty hard, Cubs. They really are at the moment. Generally, that's for a reason, I feel, and I want to know whether you think that the next batch of requirements we get in 9 days from now are going to have the Bad Batch in them or not.
So right now, I feel split on it. I feel like the signs in the game, if you ignore the lore, the signs in the game are pointing towards the Bad Batch being required. They seem to be fast tracking them. You know, we've seen these characters showing up in places earlier than they normally would. And obviously the data mine definitely seems to push that direction as well. What I keep coming back to, though, at the same time is it just doesn't, to me, it doesn't make sense for the Bad Batch to be required for Kenobi. I don't think, I can't think of a scene where Kenobi was with the Bad Batch for long. And maybe in Clone Wars Season 7 there was a moment, but they're not really part of Kenobi's story. And so to have them required for him, I think is a stretch. But if I'm CG, obviously that's the profit right there, is pushing the Bad Batch. And so I think in the game, if I ignore the lore, I would bet a lot of money on the Bad Batch being required. My biggest hesitation I keep coming back to is I just don't think it makes sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But in the past, a few things haven't made sense either, Cubs, when it comes to requirements.
Well, sure.
They've been pretty loose. We know how that's been.
But little things here and there, not 4 characters.
True, but they introduced the ticket system to try and slow down the chance of you unlocking him on day 1 and making it a longer stretch of progression to unlock these guys. And something like having the Bad Batch as a requirement is going to slow a lot of people down, so not everyone's got him the moment he's available in the game. So as much as I hate to say it, I have this lingering feeling that they are going to be required because it'll be a real roadblock for a lot of players.
Yeah. And I mean, I can see it both ways, because require all of the old school Galactic Republic Jedi, and guess what? Those characters are going to be a roadblock because nobody's farmed them. And so I feel like when you're requiring relics as high as you are, and the gear requirements as high as they are, you don't really need a marquee character to monetize a Galactic Legend. You just need to require obscure characters. And there's a lot of obscure characters that make a ton of sense to require for General Kenobi. I released my personal predictions, and I decided to not predict the Bad Batch. I knew I could go one of 2 ways. And, part of me thinks maybe my prediction are going to be way off if they do decide to use the Bad Batch. But there were 10 other characters that I felt really made sense. That made sense with the lore for General Kenobi. And most of them are characters that, unless you're, an uber Kraken whale, you don't have farmed, or you don't have their gear farmed at a minimum. I think all of them for me are like, maybe purple gear 8, gear 7 kind of thing. So it's, I mean, the distance from gear 7 to gear 13 is crazy. You might as well not even be gear 7. You're starting at gear 7. So I don't know. I could see them going both ways with it. I hope that they stay true to the story of Kenobi and don't require Bad Batch. I just don't think it makes sense.
Okay, so laying it out right now, you think that they won't be required for General Kenobi?
I don't know if I could say that.
That's what I'm asking. Let's lay it out on the table now. Let's go crystal ball
Oh
right now.
my gosh. I'm
Let's
literally
do it.
like 50-50. I'm like 50-50.
I know, me too.
I,
And that's why I'm not that's why I'm worried. I'm not quite sure either, but I just can't put it past him not to do it. And I hope not.
Okay, I'm gonna predict right now.
But
I'm gonna predict right now that they are gonna require it.
they are. I just think
the reason why is
it.
It looks like in game right now they're getting ready for it.
Yeah, I just feel dirty thinking that way, but we're so programmed to expect that type of behavior that we can't not discount it. That's the problem, isn't it? Straight up.
Yeah.
You know?
No, you're right. You're right.
It's crazy. It really is.
It'll be disappointing to me in some ways. Like if you want to, kind of the way I feel like is if you want to cash grab, have it make sense at least. Like I would rather them if it was, marquee characters that we had just received that made sense with General Kenobi. I probably wouldn't be as disappointed if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I just feel like Bad Batch makes no sense for Kenobi. I don't know.
I agree.
That's what I keep coming back to.
You're right. It doesn't. But because of that, that's exactly why it'll happen. And that's my point. Like, that's the thing that kills me. It doesn't make sense. There's so many other characters that make a lot more sense. We've already got those guys. They might be geared down, but if you've got 4 characters you need in a requirement that you don't need gear from gear 1 to gear 13, but as well as all the shards for them, cha-ching, that's all I'm thinking. And it's horrible to think that way, but we're kind of used to thinking that way these days. And it's unfortunate, but
here's the other possible explanation. All right.
Sure.
Let me throw a curveball at you.
Bring it.
What if the Bad Batch aren't required, but the Bad Batch bleed to a legendary character that is required?
Oh, okay. I mean, you need
7-star Bad Batch, but you don't necessarily need Gear 13 Bad Batch.
Well, that's even worse, isn't it? Because then you're farming an additional character again on top of the 4 to get it unlocked.
That would suck too. Yeah.
That would be worse. So
that would be their way of doing it and having it make sense, but they still make you farm the Bad Batch.
Yeah. Bad Batch lead to Commander Ahsoka, then needed for GK.
Well, no, we already know how Commander Ahsoka comes out.
That's in Conquests. That's coming in
Conquest.
So we're going to get that in Conquest anyway, so that probably won't happen.
Maybe Saw Gerrera. I don't know. I don't think Saw Gerrera's legendary status, though.
Yeah.
No, I don't think who else Bad Batch could.
That's a market.
You know what it could be is a new version of Rex. He's obviously involved with the Bad Batch, and Rex has plenty of history with GK.
Yeah, that works. That works. I don't think a lot of people will be super disappointed about having another Rex in their lineup. Just saying.
No, definitely not. No.
That'd be pretty handy. Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, guys, let us know in the comments below. What do you guys think? Who is going to be required? Bad Batch, yes, no. Who else? We know that some of the other Jedi Council members will certainly be required. We know Cody will definitely be required.
Cody's got to be in there. If Cody's not in there, then they suck. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right. Spot on. So we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out. But let us know in the comments below what you think is coming. Now, we're only hours recording this right now. We're only a few hours away from unlocking the Razor Crest Cubs. A few of us have been working on Conquest for about a few months now, getting to the point where it's finally going to unlock it.
Yep.
Like most unlocks, not going to be much use yet, unfortunately, especially in the higher end rosters. It'll be a little bit more time yet. But my question earlier up, Cubs, and I want your opinion, where are we going to use him? Now, I've got a few ideas on where we might be able to use him, having a look this far out without seeing the synergy and how it actually plays in the game yet. And being at 5 stars, it's really tricky for us to guess at this point. But I can just see a really cool fit into a Radis team off the bat there. But Cubs, any other? I know you love your fleets, so I'm really looking forward to your opinion on what you think. But which way are we going to roll here? How's it going to work, and what are we going to use him with?
I'm not the best person to ask. I read the kit and I studied the kit when it first came out, and I thought, wow, this ship looks amazing. And right now, I am not remembering a lot of the details. I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to need to go over that on my stream today. I will be unlocking it on stream today. I've hit the max crate, and I'm going to have even some extra shards there. And so I'll probably have a better take for you on it next week once we've had a chance to get our feet wet with it. But the biggest impression I remember having about the Razor Crest when I read it is, man, if we just had a great bounty hunter squad, with a capital ship, this could really help bring a bounty hunter team together. But there's just not a great bounty hunter ship team right now, and I don't see the Razor Crest changing that. It didn't seem like it was enough to really bring a bounty hunter team together. More than anything, what I was thinking is this is going to be a great standalone ship. And so I could see it being just a great plug and play to give you more assurance that you can beat that negotiator fleet with your malevolence, or remove some of those RNG factors when you're facing rebels or something like that. So I don't know. I'm really not the best person to ask. I'm going to admit that right now here on your video. Got no shame about it. I think it's going to be a plug and play ship to start with.
Yeah, I think it'll actually work. I think it'll work well in defense with a Radis lineup, but I think it'll actually destroy a Radis lineup as well, because with the marked ability that it's going to have, you'll be able to go straight after Ray's Falcon immediately, which is really the backbone of that lineup. You smash that.
Yeah, you delete that Falcon soon, and
delete that. Yeah. The rest of it is soft as. So I think it's definitely going to be, a Radis wrecker at this stage.
Help me remember. Can you? Yeah. Would we be able to, in theory, mark Han's Falcon?
There's no reason why not. Absolutely. I think it should take down rebels as well, with your ancillary fleets, because you'll mark it, you'll be able to target it, and
hard counter to rebels.
Ability, it'll work well. Yeah. It should, in theory, also work. Taking down an Anakin as well, because you can go straight after him instead of getting caught on the tanks, the taunting tanks. Like
that could be a big deal.
Yeah. Like
get rid of Anakin, get rid of those best offensive characters or ships that light you up. So yeah, we'll see. Exactly. We'll see.
Yeah. Again, guys,
come to my Twitch stream. I'm going to be practicing it today.
He will be. I'll be asleep. It'll be like 4 a.m. when we finally get our stuff in Australia. Yeah. I do, apparently, every once in a while. Weird. It's something new I'm trying, this sleep thing. It's pretty cool, pretty funky. Guys, let us know in the comments below. Let us know what you think, where you're going to use the Razor Crest if you're unlocking him. How viable is he going to be? And where else do you think he might work really well? Let us know in the comments below. We have a viewer's choice question.
Yes, it's time.
Of course. We give it to Cubs every single week. He has no idea what the question is.
I did see it's from Nem this week, though.
It is from Nem. Exactly right.
My man.
You'd be happy about that. It's from our boy Nemesis. Guys, if you haven't asked the question before, it's pretty simple. What you do is you go to the Heinzie server. The link is below. There's a channel in there called Rogue Actions Topics. Put your question in there. Pretty simple. Good question, we ask it. Crap question, we don't ask it. It's that damn simple. So, guys, get your question in there. And ours comes from Nem this week. And the question is this, Cubs. With new squads required for GAC coming up very soon when 3v3 starts, what are going to be the teams that are going to be most useful to fill those that are going to be banner stealers?
I think Beskar Mando is going to be a lot more common on defense.
Yes, I agree.
I personally, I feel like it's a very underrated squad. I know that Arnold has strong feelings about it, and I kind of think he's wrong. I think that team is a lot better than he gives it credit for. And so I'm going to call it right now. I think that is a squad that you guys are going to see a lot more commonly. Commonly? I don't think that's a word. You're going to see it a lot more on defense, specifically in Grand Arena.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I think there's going to be a resurgence. I think we're also going to find things like the bugs doing some good work as well along the way now. We're going to have the 4 against 3. You're going to have to stretch them out that little bit more. Those counters are going to be trickier against Galactic Legends. We know Ray, it's hard to take down a Ray in 3v3, so you're going to have to hang on to your Legends a little bit more. Going to have to be a bit more economical with hanging on to Legends to make sure you get rid of those Rays, because Ray's horrible in 3v3. Really tough. So again, anything along the way there that'll work well. Now, the Jawas could do a little bit stealing banners. They're not going to get holds, but they could With the taunt,
Yeah.
throwing the detonators out, they could they could drop some bombs, and they could do a little bit of damage that will reduce a few banners. Now, only my opinion. There's plenty more out there. We'll have to wait and see, but it'll be interesting. What about teams like Phoenix? Stuff that we got to dust off the bench. Will any sort of Phoenix lineups work?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe it'd be a back wall filler kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I mean, if we could get that conquest, Phoenix team, then maybe.
Yeah, it would be good, wouldn't it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But guys, let us know down below. I think it's really, really interesting to see how it's going to play out. 3v3 is going to be a bit of a show. It really will,
Yeah.
especially first time around. 5v5 is going to be a little bit more solid because we already know how a lot of those teams work.
Yeah.
And filling them out, I think they're going to be a lot more stable and a lot more solid. But yeah, let us know what teams you think are going to work really well, and we'll check them out. And I'm
That's a
sure
good
that we'll all
question.
be testing them. There's going to be a lot of people going to a lot of work, I think, with some videos coming up, just to help people out with these sorts of issues. Everyone will have the same problem. Everyone's going to be stretched with their roster going forward, and it'll be a really interesting balance to see what works and what doesn't.
Yep, and we're gonna make a lot of videos on this, I'm sure. Once we get there, you're gonna see a lot of content coming out, and the meta will probably shift, and we're gonna see some changes on what's standard, and just buckle in because it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I think so too. It'll be great. So let us know, guys, in the comments below what you think will work really well. Bad Batch required, yes or no? Raise the Crest, where you're going to use it, and also let us know what squads you think are going to work really, really well in the next lot of GAC when we get around to that soon. Cubs, always a lot of fun, my friend. Thank you so much again for joining us. Always an absolute honor to do this week after week after week. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. And if you're brand new, smash that red button. Super, super important to help us grow and keep being super awesome, Cubs.
Do it.
Do it. I love it. See you, brother. We'll see you next week, guys.
All right.
Love you all. Have fun. Bye. Mwah.
Bye.